Hello everybody, this is Tekka. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you what is currently my favorite GNOME extension, or GNOME for those purists. This right here is ddterm, standing simply for drop-down terminal. And you may be asking, why is a simple drop-down terminal application your favorite? Well, that is a wonderful question. One, it works natively with Wayland, which is cool. Two, it works with GNOME 41, which the one I was using previously does not, because if you know anything about making GNOME extensions, every time a new version comes out, chances are a lot of your work is going to be broken. But on top of the Wayland support, actually working on GNOME at the moment, it is incredibly functional and really customizable. And just to show you real quick, this is it. If I go ahead and minimize this real quick, hit F12, here is the terminal. And you can see it's a pretty snazzy looking terminal. And I've completely configured this to my specifications, and we will be running through that. But you can see here we have multiple tabs. You can create new tabs. You can manage your tabs down here. It supports scrolling, it supports resizing, and a lot more. To go ahead and get into the actual configuration for this, we're going to go up here to this little terminal icon and click on Preferences. Here are the preferences for this terminal. Before we dive into this, I should probably talk about installation. You install it like any other extension. You go to the link down below, you enable it, life is good. So, in the preferences, first we have position and size. Another thing that's really good about it, it has multi-monitor support. So the default here is on the monitor that contains the mouse pointer is where it will go ahead and open up. I only have one monitor at the moment, so none of this really matters, but what does matter is the window positioning. Left is not the default. The default is actually dropping down from the top, but I think it looks really good on the left. Window size here is the default window size when it initially opens up. 40% looks good to me, so that is what I'm currently using. Over on behavior, we have the option to make it resizable. Now, before I recorded, I actually have this disabled just because I think it's a little cleaner without that thicker bar right there. And 40% for me is going to be more than fine. We have it above all windows, so if I enable that, open it and go like that real quick, it's going to stay above windows no matter what. That is not my preference, so I'm going to get rid of that. We have the option to enable it on all workspaces, hide when application loses focus. So you saw me with this open being able to interact with this window. If I enabled that, it would go ahead and close. If I'm to re-enable it and then select this window, you could see how that works. So I am not going to do that. And then down here, we have some more options and some advanced things for X11 and Wayland. If we go over to animation, we have a lot of different animation settings. So you saw, for me, it's just a simple slide in, slide out. I could do something like add a little bounce effect if I want to. So down here, we have a bounce on the start. And if I hit F12, you can see there's a slight difference there. It's not too much, but it is there. Or, of course, you could just completely disable it and just have it pop out real quick. Which, speaking of, I'm probably just going to have it real quick and easy like that. Then we have our tab settings. So you can pick where the tabs are actually going to display. So by default, they will be on the bottom. You could show the tab bar always, automatic, or never. You can put them on the left, but you can see that just doesn't look too good. On the top looks okay, so just all a matter of preference. And of course, we have some options here. We can enable or disable the border. I'm actually going to disable that. We can add the new tab first button, so you can add tabs on this side instead of that side, but I'm just going to keep that at the default. There we go. And we have the tab switcher pop-up, so you can enable or disable that. So that's this right here. So I'm pretty sure if I tap on that, that's going to get rid of that, which I'm honestly going to keep that for now. And here you can actually edit your tab title with all these different variables right here, such as window title, icon title, whatever you may want to use. And then you can go ahead and play around and edit it right here, or reset the default if you happen to ruin it. And right here, you can kind of see how it's working. The shortcut Alt-1 is slightly translucent, and it says if switch shortcut. That's the alpha. And then they add it in here, and then they add the window title. And then, like I said, you could completely customize this further how you would like. Under text, I did customize this so y'all can see it a little bit better. I went with the source code variable at an 18 font, which here, then we could go ahead and edit that as we would like to. Size down here, the font's right there. I'm going to cancel that out for now. And then you have your always blinking. You could change the cursor shape if you want to, and then automatically detect all these various links right here. Under colors, I just have the theme variant to dark. The default is white. That is absolutely blinding. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. You can use the colors from the system theme, change the background opacity. I went with this color palette, but you go like with GNOME, for example, but I prefer this one. And I'm pretty sure that this is using like the GNOME terminal backend, because you can copy the profile directly from your GNOME terminal right here. Under command, the default is just using the user shell, so whatever you have going on in your bash RC, if that is the shell that you're using on your system. And of course you can add custom commands here, so I could just throw in neofetch there to have this automatically neofetch every single time I open it up. Whatever you may want to do. I'm going to keep user shell. Scrolling, I disabled the scroll bar because I could just use the mouse wheel. And I enabled scroll on output, so as things are getting updated and things are moving, it should keep on scrolling and going. And then we have some compatibility settings, so you could have your backspace key, your delete key, and just configure these as you would like to. And of course, there are a ton of different keyboard shortcuts. The default, like I said, is F12 to enable and disable that. And you can set a lot of different hotkeys to go ahead and change the transparency, reset, select all, switch tabs, which are those alt, and then the number of the open tab. And there's just a lot more you could go ahead and configure. We can maximize and unmaximize the window, so that's F11 by default. So that is how you would do that. And then right here we have increase window height and weight. So it says it's Control plus. So there we go. We can change the size of it like this if you'd like to. So if you're used to using like tiling window managers and you're playing around with this, you can set custom keys to changing the size. So that's just something that's nice. And then, of course, in addition to our keyboard shortcuts right here, you could change the global shortcut if you'd like to up at the top. But we have our panel icon. Now that's up here what I clicked on in the very beginning. Right now, if I click on it, I can enable or disable it through here, or go over to preferences. If you'd like to, you could go ahead and just do a toggle button. So now it will simply enable and disable based on clicking that. Or you could just completely get rid of it. And if you want to go and configure the settings, you'll have to go to the GNOME extensions, I believe. Where's my... Oh, it's right here. There we go. So ddterm, hit the settings, and then it will open up those settings. Now, this is weird. It's two different themes, but interesting. Two different color schemes, same window. I'm not going to question it too hard. So yeah, just a quick video on a really nice GNOME extension that I would highly suggest you use. Really easy to go ahead and pop that terminal open. It's, like I said, it's like kind of minimizing it. It's always in the background, so you can set like an FFmpeg render, get rid of it for a little bit, and just hit this to check up on it whenever you whenever you may need to. Sorry, I can't talk today. And we could do something like htop. We could do something like htop, have htop running over here. Go ahead, go work in this tab, and just go ahead and hit Alt-2 to check up on your system performance and whatnot. So, big thank you to our YouTube members and Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome, and thank you to basically everybody who watches these videos and supports the channel. The year is coming to an end. It has been a fantastic one. Lots of growth, lots of new people here. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm going to go ahead, if you're interested in GNOME extensions, I will link it with the I above and down in the description to some additional GNOME extensions you may be interested in, such as Pop Shell and a few others. So, with all that, have a beautiful day, and goodbye.